Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Sorry for a bit of delay. And let me just start quickly with the introduction of who is here right now. I'll start with myself. I am Tatiana Pilipenko, the regional head of APAC, UK, and Americas here at Brokeree Solutions, which is a technology provider specializing in solution development for MetaTrader platforms in regards to risk management, money management, and liquidity management. And I'm here today with Anya Aratovskaya, who is the Vice President of Institutional Sales at Advanced Markets. Anya, would you like to give a little bit overview of the company?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me today.
Sure.
So brief introduction to Advanced Markets. Advanced Markets is a wholesale liquidity provider, prime of prime with FSA and ASIC licenses. We are primed by UBS and Standard Chartered. Our focus is institutional grade liquidity for spot FX, metals, energies, and some CFDs. If you're curious about our top execution venues, you can take a look at the latest RTS 27 report.
All right, thanks so much. Well, the purpose actually of today's conversation is to comment a little bit on the recent press release that happened just a few days ago on June 5th, and it's regarding our partnership, meaning partnership between Brokeree Solutions and Advanced Markets. Now, Brokeree Bridge is integrated with Advanced Markets liquidity, right? So starting from the technological perspective, Brokeree Bridge allows to connect generally MetaTrader platforms as well as DXtrade with liquidity providers, and it combines A-book, B-book, and hybrid execution. Anya, what about, could you comment from liquidity provider side on this integration, please?
Sure. From liquidity provider side, it's simple, straightforward vendor integration. We provide fixed API access to our aggregation engine, and vendor bridge aggregation system connects to it. Once the connection is established, clients looking to onboard a new liquidity provider can use this technology, or any of Advanced Markets clients looking for a new bridge provider can now use a new vendor. Quite simple, I would say, from our perspective.
I see. Well, it's always good to, understand the point from different perspectives. From, in this case, the vendor, right, the technology provider and the liquidity provider themselves. All right, but I would like to actually continue doing this understanding, and let's discuss a few points for this deeper understanding, actually, of the whole idea of this partnership, and of course, the benefits of it. And let's start with market depth. So what does Advanced Markets provide on this matter?
Well, Advanced Markets depth of market has at least 20 layers for each currency pair. We can stream more, depends on what is requested by the client. And I know that your bridge can has an ability to do that. Generally speaking, depth of market is a must-have for any retail forex broker. I would say there are three main reasons for that. First, it enriches price discovery. Second, it improves order execution, and of course, it helps with risk management.
Yeah, well, from technology side, from technology perspective, we do have the so-called market depth, market watch. And as you mentioned, it indeed supports multiple layers, and they're reflected there. And the benefit for it is pretty much for brokers to have this full transparency. Great. And what, in regards to, let's talk a little bit about price feed quality. I mean, it's quite known that the data generally can be free or for a fee, the licensed one. And the main difference, I would say, is whether this data is verified or not. and the frequency of updates. And when the brokers work with prime of prime, they pretty much know where it's coming from, right? Um, could you comment on that, please? Perhaps to
Yeah.
add.
Our clients, see where the price feed, how the price feed is created, and how what it consists of.
Mhm.
Our infrastructure is able to provide a stable, fast, reliable price stream that is consistent even through highly volatile events. Um, and I think that consistency part is the most important element of any price feed. Because it will minimize the risk of slippage. It will facilitate a better decision-making process for traders, and it influences the reliability of trade execution. Um, so as long as as long as the feed is consistent, um,
Mhm.
it will benefit everybody.
Okay, and what about the spikes? I believe the reliable liquidity provider, the user should not get to that point, right? It should not get any spikes.
Of course, yes,
Okay.
any liquidity provider would have certain filters on their side to
Hmm.
protect the client. I would say, and if we're talking about retail forex brokers,
Hmm.
if they're using a bridge or additional technology, they have these two levels of protection. One level of protection is on advanced markets or any liquidity provider side. And I think you can talk a little bit more about what can be done
This
on the
this
bridge level as well. Yeah.
the settings, yeah, the settings of the bridge. Well, there is multiple settings actually to take care of, but of course, once it's done, then the problems should not be faced at all. Well, in conclusion, as a conclusion, I can say that generally it's best not to save money on this, right?
Oh no,
On this
no.
whole setup.
Yes, it's very known that some brokers, don't use the proper ways of getting their price feed. Some use
Hmm.
demo accounts. Some are
Okay.
using like a backup price feed,
Hmm.
on demo servers a lot. I've seen it a
Okay.
lot, and it's not reliable by any means. It can get disconnected anytime. Demo servers are usually not as taken care of as live servers, and
Right.
it's overall very dangerous, especially when you run both A and B book.
Right. And of course, this can be checked during the testing period, right? So,
Oh
of
yeah, yeah,
course,
yeah.
the
Like
technology side can connect to demo server just to check it with also demo account from liquidity provider from your side. And then the
yeah,
decision would be easy to
yeah.
make at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Right.
and talking
Hmm.
about the price feeds, if you are not connecting to a live price feed, let's say some would like to save money and connect it to a demo, it's very
Okay.
common for demo service to get restarted in the middle of the week. And
Oh, wow.
for live service is it's usually just like one time on Friday to make sure there's no trade disruption or to make sure that the consistency of price feed is there.
Hmm.
So yes, you're right. You cannot save. You cannot save on reliable price feed on this matter.
Right, right. Thanks for giving quite detailed answer on that matter. Well, and the last point for today, I would say it's actually what would be the goal of this partnership at the end of the day?
Well, I think the goal of any partnership or any cooperation is to ensure that the operation part is stable. And if you have a decent support team that can communicate effectively,
Hmm.
that will solve, I would say, 90% of the problems. Especially now when there are so many moving parts, components such as trading platforms, bridges, aggregation engines, fixed APIs. You need to have, I call it support intelligence, to make sure that both sides can communicate not just effectively but intelligently as well.
Don't forget to put the patent on that word. Good one.
Yeah, yeah, I should. I should. That just slips my mind. Support intelligence. Okay.
um, yeah, well, what I can add here, just to have a decent support team on one company is not quite enough, right? Because obviously
Yeah.
both companies have their own support teams. But what important is here is this internal communication, or the communication between two companies, in order to assist and solve any, let's say, unusual cases, right? And obviously, Brokeree, advanced markets, they have their support teams on both sides. However, what matters is that these teams actually communicate between each other in order to provide a good customer experience, because that's pretty much the most important part.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
Can put my name
Um,
in the signature. Put my name and signature under that.
all right.
Well,
Well,
I'm looking forward to continue working with you guys to many joint clients
likewise.
as well. I know we already have quite a few, but always looking forward for more. And thank you for
Absolutely.
organizing this.
No, thanks for this chat. We'll see each other in about a week and a half at IFX in
Yeah,
Bangkok, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
See you. See you in
There,
Bangkok.
there will be more things to discuss further. Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us for this session, for this discussion. And to continue this, we both companies will be happy to see you at IFX Bangkok. That will be held on June 20th until June 22nd. So yeah, don't hesitate to reach out in case of any questions further. And yeah, thanks again.